The Lions are back from their bye week, man, and time actually flies, man. It really does fly when you're having fun. Lions coming off that win over the Seattle Seahawks and got to rest and recharge, man, heading into the Week 6 matchup against those dreaded Dallas Cowboys. Now, with that being said, man, we are going to do like we always do. We are going to talk about the Week 6 power rankings. Now, I'm going to give you kind of a spoiler. I don't think the Lions changed. I think they were at 3 according to the NFL power rankings last week, and I think you got to keep them at 3. You can't put them any higher due to the one loss and how the teams are playing. So I think the number 1 is going to be Kansas City. Number 2 is going to be Minnesota. And I think the Detroit Lions stay at number 3. If they are moved from number 3, then this guy is absolutely biased and got some type of beef with the Detroit Lions. All right. But without further ado, let's take a look at the Week 6 power rankings. Seems like just yesterday I was going to Ford Field to watch us play the LA Rams. So headline, NFL power rankings, Week 6, Falcons and Broncos fly up the board while 49ers and Jets plummet. Okay, so the 49ers were 12th last week, and we've got, man, it's a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff happening in 49er land, and with Robert Saleh being fired today, things are definitely kind of getting crazy throughout the NFL when it comes to head coaches and defensive coordinators. So again, number 1 has to be Kansas City. And no, I do not look at these beforehand. I look at them in real time with you guys. I should have earned your respect. One thing you can count on is my integrity. The Minnesota Vikings. Wow, I did not see this coming simply because the Kansas City Chiefs, they've won ugly, but they're also coming off their back-to-back champions. And they're the team. So I really didn't think you could dethrone them from the number 1 spot until they had a loss. If they would have lost, then Minnesota would be number 1. But they're number 1, which means Kansas City has to be number 2. And if the Detroit Lions are not 3, then there's 100% bias in this situation. Number 3, the Detroit Lions. Let's see what the top 10 is. Number 4, the Houston Texans, up 1 spot from 5 to 4. Number 5 is going to be the Baltimore Ravens, up from 6 to 5. Number 6 is the Washington Commanders, up 1 spot from 7 to 6. Who would have ever thought that this team would be doing as good as they are, as early as they are? And are you guys saying that the Washington Commanders are ahead of schedule? Are you saying that, people? Or are we or is it too early? Are they frauds? We're going to find out soon enough. Number 7, the Buffalo Bills, down 3 spots from 4 to 7. Number 8 is going to be the Green Bay Packers, up 1 spot from 9 to 8. Number 9 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 8 to 9. And rounding out the top 10 is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who stayed where they are. Now, there's a couple teams that I want to look at. The San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks is the teams that I want to look at. Wow, 13. 14 was San Francisco. Ooh. Oh, man. And if they're not 15, wow. So Seattle is 15. Now, if San Francisco is not 16, then they are in the bottom half of the league at this point. San Francisco, ooh-wee, 16. The Bears are in front of the Niners. The 49ers, 18th. Wow. So, man, how far the mighty have fallen. And it is great. And I passed over the Dallas Cowboys, but that is absolutely fantastic. Let's find out what Eric had to say about the Detroit Lions. Says the Lions could be 4-0, having let the Bucs game slip through their fingers before this past week's bye. Well, he's right about that. We went 1-7 in the red zone. That said, this year so far has played out similarly to 2023 when they tripped up against Seattle early, but mostly held serve until the Ravens walloped them. I was just giving this guy credit. Do we have to constantly be reminded about that game? Detroit could face some tough moments in this upcoming stretch of 4 road games in 5 weeks. All of them tough challenges too. But the good news is that the offense seems to be rounding into form, even while surely having left some points on the field in the first 4 games. The defense, get back to me on that one. I won't overlook the work that unit put in weeks 1 through 3, keeping the Lions in those games while the offense treaded water. But in Detroit's most recent tilt, Seattle's Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker III diced up Aaron Glenn's unit. There are enough reasons to feel encouraged for the Lions going on another run, but also just enough trapdoors not to get too comfy. Well, you know, had to throw some hater raid in there, but I can mostly agree with the latter half of that. And, you know, I hate doing this, but spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the defense. We're going to update the defense tomorrow because we do that on Wednesdays. But we're going to have a conversation about actually 2 of our coordinators today, because one of them, to me, with the recent release of Robert Saleh, I don't know, man. Lions might have to reevaluate their defensive coordinator position at the end of the year, but we're going to save that for another video. But I think I like this spot. I still think this dude is biased. He got something against the Detroit Lions. He really does. But I do agree with the spot that we can't move any further. Now, I want you to imagine this. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings are off in week 6. All right? Lions play the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we all expect them to win, to finally best those pesky Cowboys in Jerry World. It's about time. And we are the better team this year. There's no doubt about it. So if we win, when we win against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs are off. They struggled last night. Their offense, did you know that Patrick Mahomes went the entire fourth quarter of the previous game not throwing to a wide receiver? Hollywood Brown, gone. The other guy, Rashee Rice, gone. Xavier Worthy, only wide receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster, they got guys, right? They got a couple, but they're not really rolling right now, but they're the champs, 2-time champs. They've defended their own title, right? And they're doing it again. But here's the point. With these 2 teams being off, Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys. If they beat the Minnesota Vikings and they go to 5-1, and the Minnesota Vikings drop to 5-1, even in my opinion, with the Kansas City Chiefs winning their Week 7 game, the Lions will be the best team in the NFL. They will be the best team in the NFL at that point. If the Kansas City Chiefs lose and we beat the Minnesota Vikings, no, there will be no more undefeated teams in the National Football League. And we were a red zone score away from being 5-0 or 6-0 if we beat the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I think we beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Vikings, we're playing in Minnesota. That's going to be a tough fight. A lot of y'all ready to just throw the towel and call them frauds and all that, which, I mean, last time they were doing this well, they finished 8-8. I think it was 2016. They started off 3-0. I think they went 5-0, didn't make the playoffs. So a lot of season left, but I'm not going to take anything away from them just yet. They do lead the league in sacks, and they're playing like it right now, right? So as a matter of fact, this game, Sam Darnold didn't throw a touchdown pass, but he was killing it up until the end. So I'm not going to just act like they trash, and they're getting TJ Hawkinson back, right? But we are going to take care of our business against the Dallas Cowboys, and that's going to set up a matchup in Week 7 for first place in the division and possibly the best team in the National Football League. If we win the next 2 games, no matter what happens with Kansas City, we are the best team in the National Football League. Man, crazy. And we doing all that without getting Aiden some help. So imagine if we got Aiden some help. Imagine if we had a top-tier wide receiver to help out as well. I'm just throwing that out there because listen, I want the pass rush, but sprinkle me with something. We gonna have either OP offense or we gonna get that pass rusher. Shaping up to be a great first third of the season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be ready, man. Subscribe to the channel. We hit 22.5K. Rolling right along, man. We had a great week. Our best week number-wise when the Lions have not played football since I've been talking Detroit Lions. And that has been 6 seasons that I've been doing this. And this was our best bye week of all time. So I appreciate you guys for that. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.